A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant display of dissent, demonstrators flooded streets, parks, and plazas across the United States on Saturday, rallying against President Donald Trump. This nationwide protest coincided with a military parade marking the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary, which also falls on Trump's birthday. As tensions rose, officials urged calm and mobilized National Guard troops in anticipation of the events. In Washington, D.C., where Trump's popularity has waned, many residents advised each other to steer clear of downtown on Saturday or to leave the city altogether. The protests, dubbed No Kings, saw gatherings in various neighborhoods, including a small group in Northwest Washington where a handful of mostly elderly individuals held signs in opposition to the president. One of the protesters, Elaine Newman, who celebrated her 100th birthday last November, expressed her disdain for Trump, labeling him a liar and thief. Newman, a retired union worker with a rich history of witnessing pivotal moments in U.S. history, expressed her disbelief at the current political climate. She lamented the detrimental impact of Trump's policies on healthcare and social welfare, stating, "Those poor people." Nearby, Jerry Melisa, a Polish immigrant and retired engineer, drew parallels between Trump's administration and the authoritarian regimes he experienced in his home country. Holding a sign that read, "Democracy, not autocracy," Melisa articulated his fears for the nation, saying, "I really am afraid for this country." The protests were not limited to Washington, D.C. Organizers reported that No Kings demonstrations were planned in nearly 2,000 locations nationwide, from bustling city blocks to small-town courthouses. In downtown Los Angeles, thousands gathered in front of City Hall, brandishing signs against Trump and U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. First-time protester Christina Joubert emphasized the urgency of the moment, stating, "If not now, when? Our country is suffering right now. People are suffering. It doesn't really matter who you voted for. Everyone is afraid." In Atlanta, the rally's capacity of 5,000 was quickly reached, with many more outside the barriers eager to hear speakers at the state capitol. Tensions escalated as law enforcement used tear gas to divert a group of protesters attempting to reach Interstate 285. In Charlotte, North Carolina, demonstrators cheered anti-Trump speakers and marched with a banner proclaiming No Kings. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, rain did not deter the flagship rally in Love Park, where protesters chanted, "Whose streets? Our streets," and marched towards the Philadelphia Museum of Art. However, not all planned protests went forward. In Minnesota, events were canceled as police focused on tracking down a suspect involved in shootings targeting Democratic legislators. The 50501 movement, which is orchestrating the protests, chose the No Kings name to advocate for democracy and oppose what they view as authoritarian actions by the Trump administration. The movement's name symbolizes 50 states, 50 protests, and one unified cause. These demonstrations follow a series of protests against federal immigration enforcement that erupted in recent weeks, as Trump ordered the National Guard and Marines to Los Angeles, where protests escalated into blocked freeways and fiery confrontations. In Tallahassee, Florida, around 1,000 protesters gathered, chanting, "This is what community looks like," with signs reading "One nation under distress" and "Dissent is patriotic." Organizers urged participants to maintain peaceful interactions, steering clear of conflicts with counter-protesters and adhering to traffic laws. Some marches approached Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, only to be turned back by sheriff's deputies. Protests also spread beyond U.S. borders, with demonstrations occurring in Canadian cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis cautioned demonstrators about the thin line between peaceful protest and violence. He, along with other governors and city officials, pledged to uphold the right to protest while ensuring public safety. Ahead of the protests, several Republican governors mobilized National Guard troops to assist law enforcement in managing the events, while others called for calm and placed state police on standby. The protests, described as the largest single-day peaceful demonstration in recent American history, were organized by a coalition of progressive groups, including Indivisible. Ezra Levin, the co-executive director of Indivisible, emphasized the importance of the protests, stating, "We don't do kings in America." The protests were strategically planned to avoid downtown D.C., allowing Trump to hold his military parade without interference from demonstrators. Levin noted that the protests were not intended to confront the military, but to voice opposition to the administration's policies. Trump, when asked about the protests, downplayed the notion of feeling like a king, asserting, "I have to go through hell to get stuff approved." He expressed confidence in his administration's ability to manage the situation, despite previously threatening to use heavy force against any protesters at the military parade. Organizers of the No Kings protests have consistently emphasized their commitment to peaceful demonstrations, conducting training sessions focused on safety and de-escalation tactics. Levin reassured participants that the protests were not confrontational in nature, stating, "That's not what this is about. This is peaceful protest. People are going to have fun." As the day unfolded, it became clear that the No Kings protests had galvanized a wide array of individuals, united in their call for democracy and opposition to perceived authoritarianism, marking a significant moment in the ongoing political discourse in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.